The Chicago Bears are entering a new chapter with fresh energy, a dynamic coaching staff, and high expectations. But as the stars shine under the training camp spotlight, sometimes it's the underdogs, those grinding in silence, who rise and surprise everyone. And right now, one name is starting to buzz inside the building: Joel Wilson. Yes, you read that right. He's not a headline-grabbing first-rounder. He wasn't drafted. And honestly, most fans didn't even know his name a few months ago. But that's changing. Fast, before we dive deeper into Joel Wilson's incredible journey and what he's doing to shake up the tight end depth chart, don't forget to support the channel. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. So who is Joel Wilson? He's not just a feel-good off-season story, he's someone making real noise at OTAs and minicamp. With Cole Kmet and rookie Colston Loveland temporarily sidelined, Wilson stepped into the spotlight and made the most of his reps. And people inside the organization are noticing. First-year offensive coordinator Ben Johnson gave Wilson a big shout-out after minicamp, saying he's made 1 or 2 great catches in every practice session. That's not something you hear lightly, especially from someone as calculated as Johnson. This momentum didn't come from nowhere. Wilson, listed at 6 feet 4 inches, 240 pounds, brings an intriguing athletic profile. His hands are smooth, his routes are crisp, and when he's on the field, quarterbacks trust him. Caleb Williams, the new face of the franchise, has already thrown a pair of red zone touchdowns to Wilson during low-contact drills. That chemistry? It matters. Because if a guy like Williams starts trusting you during these early stages, it can go a long way once the pads come on. But Wilson's journey hasn't been easy. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't even signed right away out of Central Michigan. And when the Saints finally brought him in, he was released just a week later, failed physical. Injuries kept derailing him at the worst possible moments. Then came brief stints on practice squads in Buffalo, Green Bay, and the Giants. And now, he's on the cusp of possibly making the Bears' 53-man roster. Let that sink in. What separates Joel Wilson from the dozens of other long shots who cycle through NFL training camps every year? It starts with the work ethic. According to team sources, Wilson has been locked in. Early meetings, extra reps, always asking questions. That hunger has helped him climb quietly and steadily. And now, as the team gears up for a critical preseason, Wilson sits firmly in the conversation for that final tight end spot. Let's talk about what's at stake. Right now, the Bears' tight end room looks like this. Cole Kmet, the clear TE1 and foundational piece. Colston Loveland, the rookie with high upside but recovering from a shoulder issue. Durham Smythe, the veteran, signed this offseason, known more for blocking than catching. Stephen Carlson, depth option who's solid but not spectacular. Joel Wilson, the wild card. What Wilson has that others don't is receiving versatility. He's been reliable in traffic, creating separation in short yardage situations, and showing a knack for adjusting to off-target throws. His routes aren't flashy, but they're efficient. He runs with purpose. During recent 7-on-7 drills, Wilson saw first-team reps and made them count. Reports say he caught multiple red zone touchdowns and stood out among fringe roster players. His physical tools may not jump off the charts, no combine invite, average bench press numbers, but what he lacks in raw strength, he makes up for in instinct and timing. Of course, it's not all perfect. The biggest question? Can he block? In this league, being a pure pass-catching tight end isn't enough, especially for someone trying to sneak onto the roster. Wilson needs to prove he can hold his ground when the pads go on. Blocking against NFL-caliber defensive ends and linebackers is a different beast compared to spring practices in shorts. That's why training camp is everything for him. Still, even without that physical edge, he's already outshined Carlson and has begun pushing Smythe. If the Bears carry 4 tight ends, Joel Wilson is in a prime position to claim that final spot. If they carry only 3, it becomes a battle. And if Wilson continues this upward trend, Durham Smythe could become a surprise cut. This is exactly the type of camp competition fans should keep a close eye on. Not just because it's fun to root for the underdog, but because it could actually impact how the Bears deploy offensive packages. A more dynamic TE3 gives Caleb Williams more options, and right now, Wilson is giving the Bears' offensive staff reasons to believe he could contribute early. Every training camp has its breakout story, the no-name player who grabs headlines, earns reps, and starts forcing the coaching staff to rethink the depth chart. Joel Wilson is shaping up to be that guy for the 2025 Chicago Bears. With his name now making the rounds in team meetings and media reports, his challenge is clear: prove he can block, stay healthy, and continue stacking good practices. That's it. If he does those three things, there's a real chance he makes this team. And that's why Bears fans should be excited. This isn't just about Wilson. This is about Ryan Pohl's eye for talent. He's already uncovered hidden gems like Jack Sanborn, Josh Blackwell, and Jalen Jones. Wilson could be next. And let's not ignore the bigger picture here. Having tight end depth that can actually contribute, not just fill space, is key in a modern NFL offense. Teams that win in January have players who step up when injuries hit or game plans shift. Joel Wilson, if he sticks, could be one of those unexpected difference makers down the stretch. He's also a great example of the culture being built at Halas Hall. It's no longer about waiting your turn or riding out a draft pedigree. If you make plays, if you show up hungry every day, you'll earn a shot. And that message is clear under this new regime. So, what happens next? Joel Wilson's journey isn't over. It's just beginning. He's made it this far by fighting for every rep, earning every opportunity, and maximizing every inch of the spotlight he's given. Now, with full pads practices and preseason games on the horizon, the real test begins. Will he make the 53-man roster? We want to hear from you. Drop a Y for yes or N for no in the comments. Does Joel Wilson make the Bears' final roster this year? We'll be tracking his journey throughout camp, and you can count on us to bring all the latest updates straight to your screen. The Joel Wilson story is one of perseverance, opportunity, and maybe, just maybe, impact. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bear down.